What is up, crawler fans, RC enthusiasts, and social media surfers? I'm your boy Josh with Texoma RC, and today we have a quick look at the Cabbed Elite. Check it out. Starting over here, we have the rear shock mount. These four pieces at the cab all do glue together. We have the front cross piece. We have the hood. On one side of the hood, it's going to print a little bit rougher. Same thing with the outside of the door panels. It's going to print a little bit rougher. Just to be honest with you, I've got it the absolute best that I can. I've went down to 0.1 millimeters on my first layer just to try to get that radius the best that it can. If a little bit of roughness is something that you're gonna be bothered by, do not buy this kit. I will show you how to make it pretty, Texoma light that is, but you know, from the package, it's going to be a little bit rough. There's nothing that I can do. I can't print it a different way to keep it strong enough to run. So the little black marks, that was just a little bit of plastic left on the deal. I left it on there. I know it's not great advertising. Your part won't come with that, but I'm gonna sand these and finish them. I don't have enough blue plastic to do it again. So that's just the way that it goes. So speaking of the hood, it is a 3-part piece. Comes with your grill. You can get that in whatever color that you want. Comes with the mag catch that is removable, so if it breaks you can get another one. You know, it just was an easy way to continue to modify the piece and make sure that we can keep moving. The hood is heavy and thick. You would think it's not good, but it goes in the front end. It does help with our weight bias, and I tried it multiple times. Didn't really notice a difference. Didn't seem like it was hurting me. So there you go, dude. And you can always knock it off and just run without it. No big deal. The other thing, this has little dimples here that you could screw out, put your lights in, and that would be freaking rad. Comes with the magnets to keep it all together with the catch. Pretty cool. If you could see this, the catch is on this piece here. This is the top of the boa riser, and it's going to catch and fit in just like that. Pretty freaking cool. So the whole idea, it was having a problem with the other one. It would twist. You don't notice it on the Elite with the rounded, the radiuses. There's nothing that really lines up. So you don't notice it when it gets a little bit tweaked while you're driving. This one has straight lines, and it was bothering me. So that was one of the things that I spent a ton of time to try and work on to make sure that it would not break, to hold up, to stay straight, and to look pretty. All right, this kit does come with the screws for the chassis to get the chassis built, but you will need to supply your axle specific screws. So whatever you're running, whatever axles you're running, you will need to supply screws for your axles to finish out the kit. Obviously, the Elite comes with all of the links. The links are not like anything else. This is not a, I would not put these on something else. They were made specifically for the Elite. The geometry is specifically tuned for my liking and what I wanted out of the vehicle. There's a lot going on. If you want to see the build and you want to hear me talk about these type of things, stay tuned for that. Today we're just going to quickly show you what you get in the kit. So we did make it so that the shocks do slide. Pretty freaking cool. And just so you know, as you see them here, this is how they actually would go on. So this would be your front right. This would be your rear right, and how it actually positions on the car. The Elite, as well as the Pros with wheels, will now be coming with the Biggish Bees, aka Texoma Rattlers, coming with 100 grams of weight. Should be plenty enough to get your Slayer weighted. You shouldn't even need to add any brass at all. You could run stock axles and have a properly balanced and weighted car to get the most performance. Is that the end all be all? No, you can add cool brass parts and axles and whatever and decrease the amount of weight you have in your vehicle. It's just that anybody from the very beginning, you shouldn't need to add anything other than what you got to get this thing going, and that's the point. With the Rattlers, you don't need to add brass, you don't need to add the Mofo hubs, even though you could. The Mofo hubs come in 0, 3, and 6, where these are right at 2.5. So you can go a little bit narrow, you can get a little bit more, or you get a lot bit more. Either way, more weight, anything you can do. You can add stuff to them, but it is not going to be required out of the package. All right, so real quick, this is the mullet version for the TRX4 front transmission skid and then an FCX24 from FMS rear axle. Immediate overdrive, gonna be an awesome performer. Get you clearance in the back, a little more belly clearance in the middle. Super duper awesome performer. You could also build it as a TRX4M with the link riser shown here. And also the Cab Elite comes as the SCX24. We went ahead and changed the skid so that the motor no longer can be flipped flop this way, but it could be slid sideways this way to help the brushless motors be centered in the cab as best as possible versus off to one side. So on the smaller motors like the Micro Komodo and the Nano Beast Nano Bam, with the mounts, they're offset to the side. So I made a screw, another mounting position so that it can be mounted to the center. If you're running the big Komodo, it is already center mounted. You can use the standard position. So here is the rear SCX24 link riser. As on the TRX4M, we had to make different things to be able to make it print as clean as possible. We added on to the boa riser and to the link riser. Connects now to the shock mounts on the axle. No problem, since we are using leading and trailing arms, we didn't need those mounts. Same thing with the TRX4M, connecting to the shock or link positions to help to make sure that we are strong and stable and not going to break. So there you have it, folks. That is the Cab Elite. Those are the freaking coolest parts I have ever seen. If you have any questions, put them down in there. Holler at me on Facebook, Instagram, Etsy page. Link in the description. Check it out on Etsy. Stay tuned for the full build. I will show you how to Texomalite, that is, coat all these parts in CA glue, file, sand them all down, spray them, make them look super duper pretty. And we can have shiny parts and Texoma parts. Heck yeah, dude. Shiny is badass, but we also got to get up and over, and that's what's the most important for me. So again, just so you know, again, just if you don't want the rough, dude, I understand. I'll make it for you, dude. You'll have to pay for it. So there you have it, folks. Stay tuned for the build series. I will be bringing this stuff out. I will show you how to do all the links. If you don't know and you're in a hurry, check out Matt's video. He shows how to do the proper technique using heat to get your link balls in. Real quick, one last thing on the TRX4M, one thing that you will need to provide. I provide the link balls for the links and the whole kit. They're not the standard TRX4M link balls, although you could make them work. They're just really big and you have to use a lot of heat and you can deform the link. So the only ones that I'm using them in are the front for the steering link. So you will need 2 link balls from your TRX4M axles for the steering link. Other than that, the rest of it is supplied. In the other kits, they're all supplied, but the TRX4M uses a larger size. I'm overcoming that in the rest of it because it's connected here and they're also connected in through here. So we're using a smaller screw actually than is required actually than the holes are in the axle, but it's being held by our boa riser. So again, you could use the bigger screws and run it in here. I would recommend drilling this out. Do not use a flat tip, something to go through here. You will split the plastic. You need to use a drill bit, be smooth and clean through there, and you can make the holes bigger. The holes in the chassis are actually for the 1.4 millimeter screws from the SCX24, and that's what I would like to continue using. However, if you want to go to a bigger screw, all you got to do is drill a hole out and it's bigger. Same thing if you're using a small screw and it began to strip out, you can either just go to a bigger screw or put CA glue in the hole and you got it all good to go. So there you have it, folks. Stay tuned. I sure do appreciate y'all. Have a great freaking day. Peace.